What if I told you that right now you could be running full speed toward absolutely nothing? Think about it. You wake up early. You grind every single day. You sacrifice time with people you love. You push through exhaustion. And for what? To look up one day and realize you've been climbing the wrong mountain this entire time. That moment when it hits you that all your hustle, all your discipline, all your sleepless nights have taken you somewhere you never wanted to go. It's crushing, and it happens to more people than you think. This is the story of two friends who wanted the same thing. One moved faster, one moved smarter, and what happened to them will completely change how you see your own path. Don't skip ahead. You need to hear this. In a quiet village sitting beneath the towering Mount Serenity, two best friends named Alex and Jordan grew up together. Both were 25. Both were hungry. Both wanted more from life. Above their village stood 3 peaks. The highest one, called the Sacred Summit, held an ancient temple. Legend said that anyone who made it to the top would discover their true purpose in life. People had attempted the climb for generations. Most turned back. Some never came home. One morning in spring, Alex turned to Jordan with fire in his eyes. "Let's do this together. Whoever gets to the Sacred Summit first proves they have what it takes." Jordan looked at the mountain, then back at Alex. "Deal. We leave tomorrow at sunrise." That night, Alex went into full preparation mode. He did push-ups, packed only the essentials, studied an old route map he'd bought from a traveler years back. Speed wins, he kept telling himself. Fastest to the top takes everything. Jordan took a different approach. He walked to the home of someone everyone called Grandmother Rose, a 75-year-old woman who'd climbed Mount Serenity decades ago. She was the only living person from their village who'd reached the sacred summit and made it back down. "Grandmother Rose," Jordan said, "showing respect, I want to make this climb. Will you help me prepare?" Rose studied his face. "Most people who come here ask how to go faster. You're asking how to actually succeed. That tells me you might be ready." She pulled out an old compass and a hand-drawn map covered in notes and corrections, far more detailed than anything Alex possessed. "This mountain offers many routes. Some look simple but end at cliffs. Some look brutal but reach the summit. Your choice of path matters more than how fast your legs can carry you." Jordan stayed late, asking questions, taking notes, listening. When the sun rose, both men stood at the mountain's base. Alex wore lightweight running shoes and carried almost nothing. He bounced with adrenaline. "Catch you at the top," he yelled, then took off sprinting up the widest, most obvious trail. Jordan wore proper hiking boots, carried Rose's compass, and spent several minutes studying the terrain. He picked a narrow, winding route that seemed longer but, according to Rose's map, avoided the deadly sections. An hour in, Alex was so far ahead that Jordan looked like a dot below him. Alex grinned. "Jordan's moving like he's scared. I'll hit the summit before dinner." The path Alex chose felt perfect, wide open, fast, clean. He ran with everything he had, heart hammering, legs burning, confidence soaring. Meanwhile, Jordan climbed with precision. He checked the compass. He read the terrain. He rested when his body needed it. He wasn't racing anyone. He was navigating. 6 hours into his climb, Alex was drenched in sweat but feeling proud. Almost there, he thought, wiping his face. Then he looked up and his world stopped. The path ended at a sheer cliff, unclimbable, no way forward, nothing. Alex stared in disbelief. This can't be happening. He pulled out his old map. It clearly showed this route going straight to the summit, but the mountain disagreed. The map was either wrong, outdated, or he'd misread it completely. Alex turned and looked down at the miles he'd covered. 6 hours of running, all of it in the wrong direction. He'd have to go all the way back down and start over on a different path. 6 hours of maximum effort. 6 hours of confidence. 6 hours of speed, all wasted. Alex sat down on a boulder, dropped his head into his hands, and learned something that shattered him. Effort without the right direction is just suffering. He'd moved faster than anyone could. He'd worked harder than most people ever would, but he'd run toward nothing. Jordan, meanwhile, kept moving steadily on his chosen path. It was tight. It was steep in spots. It demanded patience. But every single step brought him closer to where he actually wanted to go. While Alex was descending in defeat, Jordan was halfway up the mountain, exactly where Rose's map predicted. It took Alex 3 hours to climb back down. By the time he reached the bottom, the afternoon was almost gone. He was destroyed, physically and mentally. He spotted the path Jordan had taken, the one he dismissed as too slow, and made a choice. "I'll take Jordan's route, but I'll run it. I can still make this work." So Alex, exhausted but stubborn, started climbing again. On the correct path this time. But now he was 9 hours behind and his body was already breaking down. 2 hours into his second attempt, Alex noticed what looked like a shortcut. A steep, rocky scramble that could save him serious time if he pushed hard enough. I need to catch up, he thought, and went for it. Halfway up the scramble, his foot slipped. He went down hard. Not a fatal fall, but bad enough. His ankle rolled. Pain exploded through his leg. He couldn't walk properly. Running was impossible. Alex sat there on the rocks, defeated, hurt, and completely alone. He'd given everything he had, but his decisions had destroyed him. As the sun dropped toward the horizon, Jordan reached the sacred summit. The temple stood in front of him, simple and weathered by time. Inside, there was no gold, no treasure. Just one sentence carved into ancient stone. The right path, walk slowly, will always defeat the wrong path, run quickly. Jordan sat down, exhausted but complete, and understood what the mountain was teaching. It was never about speed. It was about wisdom, about choosing correctly from the start. The night before the climb, Rose had told Jordan something he'd carry forever. She'd said, "Jordan, life throws countless paths at you. Some promise quick wins, instant fame, fast money, immediate recognition. They look incredible. Others look slow, hard, unglamorous. But here's reality. The path you choose matters infinitely more than your pace." She'd held up her compass. "This doesn't make you faster. It doesn't make the journey comfortable. But it shows you true north. And when you know where north is, you stop wasting time running south." She'd paused. "Alex will run. He always has. He thinks maximum effort fixes everything. But effort aimed in the wrong direction is just pain. You need to learn how to choose before you commit everything." Rose had taught Jordan 3 core principles. First, pause before you sprint. Most people choose fast and regret slow. Smart people do the opposite. They choose slow and succeed fast. Study the path before you pour your energy into it. Second, learn from people who've already done it. Pride tells you to trust only yourself. Humility tells you to learn from people who've walked this road. A good map beats strong legs every time. Third, accept that the right path often looks slower at first. Crowds always chase what appears fast. That's why crowds fail. The few who win are willing to take paths that look slow but lead somewhere real. Sitting at the summit, Jordan understood something profound. His success had nothing to do with being stronger than Alex. It wasn't about trying harder. It was about choosing better. He'd paused to seek wisdom. He'd followed a proven route. He'd resisted shortcuts. And now he stood somewhere Alex couldn't reach. A search party found Alex the next morning, injured and broken, on the mountainside. They carried him down. His ankle healed over several weeks, but the damage to his ego never fully recovered. For months, Alex blamed the mountain, blamed the map, blamed bad luck. But deep down, he knew the truth. He'd chosen speed over strategy, effort over wisdom, and it had cost him everything. 6 months later, Alex knocked on Rose's door. "Grandmother," he said quietly, "I need to learn what Jordan learned. I'm ready to listen now." Rose smiled with kindness. "You already learned the most important lesson, child. You learned that being ready to listen is the first choice that actually matters." A year later, Alex and Jordan climbed the mountain again. Together this time, not racing, not competing. Alex followed Jordan's pace. He trusted Rosie's map. He asked questions instead of assuming answers. He chose carefully instead of quickly. And this time, he reached the summit. Standing next to Jordan at the temple, Alex read the inscription out loud. "The right path, walk slowly, will always defeat the wrong path, run quickly." Jordan put his hand on his friend's shoulder. "You worked just as hard this time. But this time you also worked smart. That's everything." When they returned to the village, Rose was waiting. She looked at Alex and said, "Now you understand. Effort is the engine, but choice is the steering wheel. Without both, you're just a powerful car driving off a cliff." Listen, this story isn't just about climbing mountains. It's about every single major decision you're facing right now. Your career, your relationships, your goals, your dreams. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. You can work incredibly hard and still completely fail. Not because you didn't try, but because you chose the wrong mountain to climb. The world worships effort. Work harder, never quit, push through pain. And yes, effort absolutely matters. But effort without direction is just spinning wheels in mud. Before you commit your life to something, ask yourself 3 questions. First, am I choosing this because it looks fast or because it's actually right? Crowds run toward whatever shines. Wise people walk toward what lasts. Instant success usually equals long-term regret. Slow progress usually equals sustainable achievement. Second, have I learned from someone who's already succeeded at this? Your pride says figure it out alone. Your wisdom says learn from people who've done it. Rose's map was worth more than Alex's speed. Find your Rose before you start climbing. Third, am I willing to look slow to arrive right? The hardest part of choosing wisely is looking like you're falling behind at first. Alex was miles ahead until he wasn't. Trust the process of choosing well, even when everyone else seems to be racing past you. Here's what nobody tells you about success. The people who made it didn't just work hard. They worked hard in the right direction. They paused to choose. They found wisdom. They took paths that looked slow but led somewhere real. You have a compass too. It's called discernment. It's called patience. It's called the wisdom to ask if this is the right path before asking how fast you can run. So here's my challenge to you. Look at the path you're on right now. The career, the relationship, the goal. Whatever you're pouring your soul into, ask yourself honestly, am I on the right path or just the fast path? If it's the wrong path, it's not too late to turn around and choose again. Yes, it feels like starting over. Yes, it's humbling. But starting over on the right path beats climbing the wrong mountain forever. If this story made you stop and reconsider your direction, hit that like button and share this with someone who's working hard but might be heading the wrong way. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is show them there's a better route. Drop a comment. What's one thing you're doing right now that feels like running fast in the wrong direction? Let's help each other choose better paths. Subscribe to Stories of Motivation for more content that makes you think differently about success. I'll be back next week with another story that challenges how you see your life. Until then, remember this: speed impresses people. Direction changes lives. Choose your path like your entire future depends on it, because it does. The summit is waiting. But first, check your compass.